Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. The first of many big bug fixing patches has just hit the PTU, so let us check out what is fixed. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members, in particular to my latest channel members, Mark, Equilibriator, Griff22, the HKBMX, and Jazzy. Thank you all so much for the support, it is truly appreciated. So Star Citizen 4.0.2 has just released to the PTU for the Evocati. This happened on Friday evening. This, I suppose, being the first, or even second, I guess, patch of the year to take Star Citizen into a proper state of playability and stability. As stated, we will see around 10 patches released throughout the year, not necessarily bringing big new features, but instead much needed bug fixes and improvements to make Star Citizen work much better. And there is a lot of important fixes with this build, but also a bit of a dedicated aim before moving to the rest of the waves, which I will speak about in a second. Also, the NDA is back on for the Evocati, meaning that we can still talk about the patch, discuss the patch notes, talk about our experience, but we cannot show any footage or play any audio from it at all. Anyway, with that said, let us check out the patch notes and see what is fixed. So the release goals listed here for 4.0.2 state that this release is highly focused on 3 key points, being to improve and fix as many top key gameplay issues as possible, improve connectivity and stability, and begin the latest Supply or Die Pyro event, which is the next phase of this ongoing in-game event, like Save Stanton, Fight for Pyro, now it is Supply or Die. And this build, it says, pulls in all of the current bug and stability fixes that were not compatible with just hotfixing into 4.0.1. Now, I'm not going to go into specifics about the event, but it does state that this is Pyro's answer to Jumptown and is a PvP specific event. Now, for feature and gameplay updates, it says maximum player look rotation scale for the dedicated tractor tool has been reduced to add more of a weighty feel to heavier items, and they have added new distance values to the spawning of salvage ships around rest stops to avoid cleanup. And I also, on that note, hope that they get this aggressive cleanup process a bit more refined so that ships that are potential salvage, like player-owned ships or previously player-owned ships, don't just disappear right in front of our eyes. Now, for ships and vehicles, the Misk Fortune has had an LOD and Art Polish Pass. The Morai Guardian has had an LOD Transition Polish Pass, which I presume means that as you get closer to it or further away from it, the details pop in or out much cleaner than what it was. Also, the Tumbril Storm has had its extra personal storage removed. They have set the correct amount of personal storage and changed the lock name for all personal storage. I'm not sure what the lock name or the LOC name stands for. I'm not sure what that stands for. Do let me know if you have an idea. Next, we have core tech updates. They have done further network changes to help load times, which is obviously a big problem getting into the game in the first place. Hopefully this reduces it drastically. They've performed a polish pass for AI planet navigation, which is what enables the AI to move across a planet's surface. They have done performance optimizations for instanced hangars, done further light and rogue entity performance polish passes on Stanton's landing zones, and added new distance values to the spawning of salvage ships around rest stops to avoid cleanup, which I've just read. I don't know why I read that twice. So some great optimizations there. Hopefully we can see these in effect in comparison to 4.0.1, including things like these instanced hangars, making them more consistent. Now, for bug fixes, as usual now, they are labelled as possible fixes, and if you find any are still present, let them know on either the Issue Council or this bug and issue discussion post on Spectrum, which I will link below. If I forget, do let me know. Now, there are actually 35 bug fixes for many different things. I will run through a few, not all of them. Do check the notes if you want to see anything specific, but they have fixed server freezes without server errors, power allocation pips setting to 0 or off, quantum travel stopping after a short distance, being able to enter a non-owned personal hangar and losing control of your character, missions not rewarding payments, freight elevators in RAB locations missing kiosks, and freight elevators not transferring to warehouse properly. Building interiors on Monarchs should now be present. The Cutlass red strut obstructing the view is gone. Getting stuck in the walls at derelict outposts should no longer happen. Components found at the CZs, or the contested zones, should now be equipable again. The Crusader Hercules should spawn properly in the hangar and not be off balance. The filler station in salvage ships should be properly working, and many, many more. Again, check the linked patch notes for anything specific, but that is a lot of bug fixes, a lot of important bug fixes as well. Now, there were also 5 client crashes fixed, 10 server crashes fixed, a hybrid crash fixed, and a client deadlock fixed. Now, moving on to the known issues. Firstly, it was mentioned before the patch dropped that the goal for this patch is to have elevators in a much better state before they even open the patch up to further waves. So before it even leaves Evocati's hands, they are aiming to drastically improve the elevators, which is certainly a good sign of their new commitment to really getting Star Citizen's Persistent Universe playable. And with this patch dropping on Friday evening, they said that they will leave this patch up over the weekend for the Evocatis while they work on further transit and elevator updates. So again, great to see this dedication in actual effect, and hopefully it starts to pay off even in this first patch. Now, for the known issues, there are 6 bugs labelled as blockers, being elevator panel buttons not functioning, transit systems in LZs having no collision, so players fall through them, PvP missions not working, boxes not spawning during courier missions, MOBIGlass mission contracts becoming hidden when another player enters the mission location, and Copian-related missions not displaying in contracts either. There are 7 critical bugs listed, being quantum travel markers becoming invisible, payment cannot be accepted to begin the refueling process in the Starfarer, party members not appearing on the maps, storing items can wind up with the item just dropping on the floor and losing interactions, players falling through the planets at various outpost entrances is also labelled as critical, and ship weapons sometimes not firing. And then finally, there is one high-rated bug, which is the FSR upscaler no longer being usable with DX11. Still usable with Vulcan, but this should be fixed in the next build. So that is a very interesting and informative set of patch notes, and if they continue this momentum as each patch comes along, even just each subsequent patch for 4.0.2, not even counting the actual full builds like 4.03 and 4.1 for example, it is looking very promising that we will see Star Citizen's Persistent Universe get into the best state it has ever been. I'm actually feeling really excited to see how the Persistent Universe evolves each month, not even each quarter. It is every month almost we are going to see these patches roll out. And feeling that pull on me of wanting to play is increasing more and more now. This is a very solid looking patch, and if they are trying to fix the elevators in many areas before even opening up to Wave 1, hopefully this means that 4.0.2 will resolve many of the current elevator and transit issues that we are dealing with while they work on this refactor, as well as the hangar problems. That would be phenomenal. Anyway, that is the latest patch notes currently for the Evocati on the PTU. I will be cracking on with the latest monthly report right now, breaking down that for a dedicated video, hopefully releasing tomorrow, we will see. Don't forget the TOBII Tracker 5 is on sale until the 10th of February, so it's a great time to grab one if you want to get it for 15% off. Don't worry, there will be more sales throughout the year. I will keep you informed about those, but using that link in the description will provide my channel with a direct kickback, which is very much appreciated. Anyway, with that said, it is onwards and upwards for Star Citizen, getting it playable, getting it stable. If you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. We are so close to 70,000, so thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed so far. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother, or here when I am live on YouTube. I stream to both, and you are welcome to watch on either. Great place if you are new or a veteran coming back to the game, or if you just have questions about the game, the project, what is happening. You are all more than welcome while we talk about the game and play it as much as possible too. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys, So thank you for the support, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.